Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Joe Emilio show. This is a show where I do a lot of things on this YouTube channel, and tonight I'm going to have a guest. But before I bring her up, I just want to quickly remind everyone that if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing and please give this video a like. And don't forget that you can also check out the links in the description below. If you enjoy what you're seeing, you enjoy me, you want to support me, please consider going to the links in the description below. There are various ways in which you can support this channel, and it would be greatly appreciated. You can donate any amounts. You can just go check it out, support me monthly. Anything like that is greatly welcome. Now, ladies and gentlemen, very quickly, before I bring up the guest as well, I just want to say that for my I just want to say a little words about her. I've met her. I've had the pleasure of meeting this lovely lady over the past few months at various protests around Cape Town. As some of you may know who frequent my channel a lot, you know that I was at the EFF protests in Brackenfell. I was at the recent one on the beach, and she was there, and I was blown away by the passion that this woman has in her heart and the love for this country, even though there are some groups out there that want to try and make her look bad. But we're not really going to talk about that tonight. What we are going to talk about this evening is her movement, what she's about, who she is. Going to get to know her a little bit more. And ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the wonderful, the amazing, apparently the Iron Lady, Debbie Else. Hello, Debbie.
Hi. Hi to your viewers and hi to everybody. And thank you for inviting me to your show. I'm honored.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm
Thank
going
you
to
for
try not
being
to
on.
swear.
You can. Don't worry. It's fine. All right, Debbie. Well, I think just to start, just in case there are people that are watching this that don't know who you are, maybe they haven't heard of you before, just explain in brief who you are, what you do. Yeah.
Okay. I'm Debbie Owls, and I'm the lady that doesn't take shit. Um, I have started. I've started my passion for the farm murders. I first started with gender-based violence, and then I saw a lot of groups popping up, and I thought, okay, where can I focus my focus on that really needs the help? And then I went to the farm murders. I started the farm murders, and then the lockdown also started. But before the lockdown and all that, I've got friends in New York and film producers and directors that are friends like Jackie Chan and all of them, and Vincent Lin. And I was talking to them about the farm murders and the things that's happening here in South Africa. And then they invited me to the International Film Festival, and I
Mhm.
was the host for South Africa. And I went to New York with Mrs. South Africa, who sponsored me. And we went, and I took them the copy of my script because they asked me to write a movie. I said, how the hell do I write a movie? I don't know nothing about writing movies. They said, but you're good. You're good in what you do. And with all the info that you've given us, put it into a movie. So I did that. And when I went to New York, it so happened that Cyril Ramaphosa was also in New York.
Mhm.
And when I was giving the senators and these United Nations members all the info, that evening, Cyril Ramaphosa went on and said there is no farm murders in South Africa.
Yes.
I was gobsmacked. I didn't know. I'm sitting with all the evidence in my hand, and this man is lying on national TV saying there is no farm murders. So I
Mm.
thought, guy, I'm going to get you somehow or the other. People need to know
Yeah.
exactly what is going on. You're not going to bullshit South Africa anymore.
Yes.
So I wrote my movie, I gave it to them, and I was so proud of myself because the movie was written, believe it or not, a full 1.5 hour movie was written in a week.
Oh wow. Okay.
I did it in a week. So I sent it through, and the directors came back and they said they have never seen such a beautifully written script and gruesome script. They've never ever. So I said, but that is what is happening. It's
Mm.
everything was real, the truth, and it is very gruesome. But it's the only way that I could get the story out there,
Yes.
because going on social media and the media houses and all that, they spread a lot of fake. Okay, they've got this agenda that they are driving for the government. We all know that they're getting paid. So the only way that we can do it is by doing a movie and putting it out there.
Mm.
But then lockdown came, and
Wow.
when I came back, lockdown came, and I couldn't produce the movie. So that is now on a back burner. But I thought, okay, wait, I need to do something still.
Mm.
I need to do something drastically. So I started with the protesting. I thought, well, I either land up in jail or I don't know, but we need to get it out there. So I got involved with the bikers, Brent van der Vestes and Orlan from Right to Freedom, and we started protesting every weekend, just because we can sometimes. We were always, the cops came to look for me at each and every. They knew that myself and the bikers will be at the N1 City McDonald's every Saturday. So they would be there waiting for us. And then one day I decoyed and we went to Paul's, the garage at on the N1. They actually came to look for me there. Okay, but then I had a helmet and all that on, and they couldn't find me, and the bikers was not going to give me up. So,
Yeah.
um, and it was always threatened. When you get to Parliament, we're going to arrest you. Blah blah blah. So I said, look here, if you need to arrest me, then you must arrest me. But I know what my human rights are. We
Yeah.
are allowed to protest, and you are not going to take my rights away from me. And
Yeah.
I made a promise to the farmers that I will do whatever I can until I close my eyes one day to help and protect them. And I did. And then we just started protesting, and every weekend, I promise you, I was water bombed, I was tear gassed, I was, what is that, purple, pink, and green stun grenaded. And
Oh,
I mean, I
yes.
was disorientated already. I didn't even know where I was, but I was there.
Yeah.
We also put the flag of Right to Freedom on top of the statue. We weren't
Mm.
allowed, and but we did, and it's still there. And we will keep on doing what we need to do, because the South Africa belongs to everybody. It is not the government's.
Yes.
Um, so yeah, and that's basically me, and I'm still carrying on fighting. And
Mm.
I do have to apologize to the farmers. I have slacked down a little bit, but I have not forgotten the farmers, because what I'm
Mm.
doing now is going to help not only the people of South Africa, but the farmers as well.
Yes.
So I need to do this specific thing now, before, so that I can carry on. And we do have a very, very big protest on the 27th of February at the Union Buildings.
Mm.
I think it's in 3 weeks' time in Pretoria. So, everybody was crying out that I'm doing protests in Cape Town and I'm not doing in Pretoria. So, Dani van der Westhuizen and Kali Roo has organized this protest at
Wow.
the Union Building, and they invited me to join them. So, with the greatest of pleasure, I am going up, and I believe you're also going to go up.
Hopefully, yes.
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 So, yeah, we're going to show them what Capetonians can do. And I want all the people of South Africa, the pastors, everybody that is against farm murders, against crime, against the corruption, against everything, you come and air your views there on the 27th of February. It's time South Africa stands up and stops sitting at home and just letting things happen.
Yes.
So yeah, that's
And so,
basically me. Ciao.
yeah. Just to be clear, it's on the 27th of February, 27.
27th of
Yeah.
February. I
And
will have posters on.
you're Yeah, your movement, the Facebook group that you have, which by the way is linked in the description below if people want to go and check it out, and please be like, you know, subscribe or become a member to the group, because you do lives on there as well, which are very
Yes,
interesting. So I encourage people to go watch that. So your movement, that movement, which also does protests, we sat over the weekend, and you told me how you also organize protests. So this that's happening on the 27th isn't necessarily part of your movement. It's a collaboration of sorts.
yes, yes.
Okay. All right.
Stop
Cool.
Farm Murders movement will be joining the Kali. I can't remember now. It's also to do with Stop Farm Murders. Yeah, I'm going to be joining them as well, so that
Okay.
we can unite, and it's not
Yes.
like like the Senekal story. So we need to all stand together, and we need to
Yes.
unite. And the government must take us serious when we're uniting, and not, be little groupies and for their
Yes.
own agendas and whatever. So
Yes.
Kali and Donnie is awesome guys. They
Mm.
really, really devoted with the farm murders as well. They are up in the Gauteng area. So they do everything. Donnie does the Witkruis Monument as well there. So he's very familiar with the farmers, and they're really, really working very hard.
Mm.
So I'm tackling the Western Cape area. They're tackling that area, and I think if we do things together, we can achieve much more. So yeah,
Yes.
very proud of them.
So, all right, cool. So it's on the 27th. I'm guessing time and all that stuff will be, we know it's at
Yes.
the union buildings, but time and all that will be obviously announced later on. So please go be part of the be part of the group, sorry, so that we'll announce all the details later during the week. I just want to address Debbie, sorry, a comment here. Lars Zolis, one of my viewers, is very eager to suggest this. He says, Joe Amelia, later on you should suggest they start using Telegram as a mechanism for spreading the word. Images and videos can be powerful, and Telegram gives access to the entire right-wing world.
True.
I don't know, Debbie, do you have a Telegram group?
Yes, we do have a Telegram group.
Okay.
What I started while I start like a couple of months after the movement, I started a security-based Telegram and WhatsApp group for the farmers that are out there that needs protection, that has maybe an attack, and then they contact us, and then we will send people out immediately, because government is not helping us, and the police
Yes.
force, they're not helping.
Yes.
So we have started that, and it is going very, very well. We've
Great.
joined forces with a lot of security companies, and I actually had a meeting today with Agri Op, and they are going to be doing the security here in the Western Cape, and then go up to the other provinces. So I'm very excited
Fantastic.
about that, and I will feel much better knowing that our elderly people on the farms are protected and
Yes.
safeguarded. So,
Yes.
yeah, but we do have a Telegram group. Yes.
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, are members of the public allowed to be part of the group, or just farmers?
Yes, anybody can. Anybody
Okay.
can. We put all the emergencies, all the farm attacks,
Mm,
um, uh, everything that the people is to know what is going on farms and that,
mm,
and small holdings and everything. If there's if we need maybe assistance, like when the Fura Boer and Pink Ladies is also part of us, when they take feeding to the farmers and and the what do you call it, the beeste, the when we take feed for the animals and that, man, for
mm.
the farmers and for the
Yes.
farmers, then we will go and post on there, like if we need drivers or trucks or feedings or security to help convoy us to take the feedings and that. I mean, last month we took 10 million rands worth of feeding to the Northern Cape,
Oh wow.
and 100,000 rands worth of groceries to the farmers in the Northern Cape.
Wow.
So
That's awesome.
the guys are working flipping hard. That's besides the droogtehulp and all that that's
Mm.
going out there. Yeah. I'm very proud of my people. They're awesome.
That
They really work hard.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well done on that. All right. So just to also mention, you mentioned Senekal, which I know that you were also there on both occasions. I was going to leave this conversation for a bit later, but let's talk about it now. So Senekal 1 and 2, that was, I think, during the lockdown, a moment for South African and in South African history where a lot of attention was on the issue of farm murders and stuff like that, especially because of Brendan Horner, with the horrific attack on him. It really put farm murders in the limelight, and it got to a point where people could no longer ignore it, and it was about time. In my opinion, a bit too late, but regardless, it's in the limelight. It got a bit of the spotlight, and obviously rumors circulating heavily around the events that happened at Senekal. Do you know anything about Senekal 1, about the alleged group that stormed, as the media puts it, the courts? Is that true? Were you there? Did you see anything?
Yes, I was there. Senekal 1, we went there to protest against the bail, right? And
Mm.
we had our speeches and everything. And we finished up, and the guys started dispersing. And then there were like a handful of people there that went to the court to go and find out what happened with the court case and the postponement dates and all that. And when they went up to the court, they this handful of people, which was not the Boere, by the way, they went inside the court, which they have the right to do. I mean, anybody is allowed. And all hell broke loose because if you see the video footage as well, when those guys went in, gunshots went off,
Mm.
and the farmers then turned around because it was coming from the back. Now, you
Mm.
cannot enter a courtroom with weapons. Okay, so the farmers
Yes.
was not armed.
Armed. Yeah.
It was the police. Okay, they were getting a little bit panicky and whatever. So anyway, then the guys came out, and what happened was there was this sawmill. What do you call it? That big vans that you can lift
Yes.
the roof up, and yeah. And I was standing there, and I saw this van coming speeding there to the court, and then he opens up the flap, and then he throws a stun grenade out. And for no reason, because everybody was busy dispersing, and
Mm.
you could see that they were looking for shit.
Mm.
So, and then he just sped away. And everybody's standing there saying, well, what the hell just happened here? And then it was not long after that, a police van goes straight into the wall there, almost knocked a child and a lady. And the farmers then got the mooring, and they tipped the van. They pushed the van out and they
Okay.
tipped it. Now, nobody set the van alight, okay? Not one of the people there set the van alight. It either was set alight by somebody, I don't know, but I think when they tipped the van after a while, it fused or something, and the petrol, whatever, and it made a little fire there. But
Yeah.
nobody set it alight. But you know what? I say been awesome to the guys that tipped that van, because if the other protesters, the muhus, can go to clicks and all those places and vandalize places, and even Senekal they vandalized, and the Boere had to clean up after them, by the way.
Yes.
Then why is it such an issue at Senekal 1 when they did that? Then the EFF must now say, now they have to go there, the second one, because they obviously want to make a name for themselves now and be like I said, they were going to cause a stir again after this beach story, which they did the next day.
Yeah.
So they wanted to be in the spotlight. Political points, that is what they want. And
Yes.
then the Senekal 2 happened. And, you know, the morning we left like flipping 5 o'clock the morning to get there. We were like the first ones there in Senekal. Myself and Mornay Swart from Our Voices. And when we got there, we drove past the Horner farm and through the roadblock thingy, and then there was like a what you call it, a put stall on the left hand side where there were like 4 or 5 farmers there, and we were hanging around there, and the people were starting to come in, and then this people from Cape Town came there, and then just a whole lot of Boere just started coming there, and all these and then we drove and we saw, no man, what the hell is going on here? Everybody was supposed to meet, and then we were going to go to the court, because we are going to the court to protest against the bail
Yeah.
application. Okay, why the EFF was there now to protect the police and whatever? I mean, because they destroyed everything.
Yeah.
It was all just a political driven
Yeah.
thing for them. So they gate crashed our protest. Okay, but anyway, so now the cops has got them divided. Okay, they don't want the EFF and the Boere to be together. So they said, okay, EFF must be there and the Boere is going to be there.
Mm.
But then there was a groupie here, like 10 kilometers away, and then it was Afri Forum doing their karaoke and their whatever, and hot dogs, and like a, what do you call it, a kermis, whatever. And then it was the where I was at the farm store, where everybody was waiting now, so that if anything happens, we are close by into town. Because what
Mm.
the police did later, they barricaded with that barbed wire thingy, so that we couldn't get in there. And then there were some farmers already inside, like Willem Petzer and all them. They were inside because they came in from the other side, and some of the bikers. So it was
Chaos.
such a f up, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because my thing is, if the shit hit the fan, then you've got Boere 10 kilometers away, and then 5 kilometers away, and then 2 kilometers away, and others on the other side again, you know? And it did happen,
Mm.
because the people that was inside in the town, because I was getting messages, and they were saying that they are under threat and under attack and wada wada wada. And I'm telling the people, yeah, now how the hell are we gonna get in there? Because
Mm.
what now? We weren't ready for a war. And I kept on telling the people, because this general, whatever his flipping name is, was on the bucky and telling the women and the children, the men must go around them. They must be in the middle, and they all going now. He's going to take them now into battle, and a lot of bullshit, And then I went up and I said, look, guys, you are not ready for this. You cannot go and have a war here, because that is what they want. They want
Mm.
to cause violence now so that they can declare a state of emergency, and then we're stuffed. So just relax, let them do what they have to do. The cops has got it under control. But as you know, you get some of these Rambo and whatever the hell you call them, these youngsters, they just want to skop, skit, and dorner. They don't give a
Mm.
shit about anybody else but themselves. And the more I tell them, listen, you're trying to keep the peace, they just want to go in. And eventually everything was okay. And then obviously Malema and Bekitele was in the court, and he was actually, while he was in court, he was sending tweets out to the people outside to tell them to attack, and I don't know what else, So, which I've got all that, and we've sent it to the Hawks, and I've laid the charges, and we're busy with that. And when I went home that evening, I thought, you know what? We are never going, as a nation, we are never going to get anywhere if we are going to keep on being divided. I don't know who divided the people that day. I really don't know who divided, who organized all these little groupies, because it was like everybody was for their own agendas there, you
Mm.
know. Like Senekal one as well. When this guy from the DA came there, because you had the DA, the Freedom Front, and all of those people there, and everybody want to come and do their political points there. And my thing is, this is not a political driven thing, you know. We are fighting
Mm.
there for the farmers. We're not coming there to score any
Yes.
points, any agendas. So what are they now wanting to go and talk? And when the guy got onto the bucky from DA, and I kept on shouting, um, do you admit to the farm murders and all that? And he just carried on talking. And I thought, bugger you shit. You're not going to come and score political points here. You can't even declare that there is farm murders and all that, but you want to come and show faces. I said, no.
Mm.
I told the bikers, take him off. So they took
Mm.
him off. And then the Freedom Front guy, voter, that scroll Maniki, he
Yeah.
went on to the baki. And I said to him, just talk about political party now. Then you're going to
Mm.
be next. So luckily for him, he spoke about the farmers.
Yeah.
And then obviously you had the other people that had their own agendas there, and was talking about Malema at the Senekal one, and Malema wasn't even featured at Senekal one. So yeah, I
Mm.
just wish that the people would stop being divided by these hidden agenda groups, and stand together as a nation, because that is what we need. And we're getting there, because, a year ago, there was no court case where there were farmers and that. Now, if there's a court case, the farmers are there in mass. So
Mm.
that shows we did something right. You know what I'm saying? The
Mm.
awareness is out there,
Yes.
and the whole world is talking about it now. So
Yes.
we did something right. And I'm very proud of the guys, and I'm proud of the farmers for standing up now. I mean, even the attacks on the farms now, the attackers are being caught,
Mm.
even
Yes.
before an attack now. So something good is happening. People are listening. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
They're
it's good,
standing up.
man. It
Yeah.
makes me feel good that, I didn't do this for nothing. I didn't.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just awesome, man. I just love them. They are just awesome.
Yeah, you make a good point. That's something that I've discussed with a few, even people who watch this, who watch my channel. Yanni commenting now, who I've had this conversation with as well. Where one thing that we saw from Senekal, one is of a divide, as you mentioned, between Afrikaners themselves. I'm married to an Afrikaner lady, beautiful woman, and her obviously her family is Afrikaans, and I was speaking to her to the brother-in-law who's also Afrikaans, and he also said the problem is, or that we feel with these farm murders issue is, everybody wants to be the main guy, everybody wants
Ye-
to be the main leader,
Yes,
and everyone, it's funny to me that people realize this problem, but yet we're not really, I mean, yes, it is getting better, but we're not really like going like, okay guys, enough, we're here for the same reason, now
exactly.
let's band together here, because we're
Exactly.
stronger together than we are divided. And
Right.
that was the one big problem, because Cynical 2 kind of brought that to light, where
Mm,
we saw these different groups, even though they're there for the same reasons. EFF was the one that looked united. And
yes.
I hate saying that, but
Yes.
it's the truth. And I hope that people watching this will also realize, like, hey, let's put our differences aside. It doesn't it doesn't matter where you come from, your background, your race, your this, your that. If you're the farm worker, or you're the farmer himself, or whatever the case, or you've lost someone from farming, or from a farm murder, sorry, which is tragedy, and that's the whole reason why we're here. That's the whole reason why this movement started, is because these attacks and these vicious murders need to stop, and we need to honor those that have lost their lives because of these attacks and deaths, by uniting together, because us
Exactly.
divided isn't going to help.
Yeah, Joe, that is actually very sad, because that is my argument. You know, I I've been at all the protests, and I see when the ANC, PAC, EFF, all of them, when they protest, they unite. They stand together, even if it is against us. But at least they are standing together. They unite. You know what I'm saying? And they come
Mm,
out in volumes. And I'm afraid to say it. The white people and the colored people. It's like I don't know what it is with them. Um, I don't know. You saw it on the beach as well. There was a lot of people that was very afraid to
mm,
walk on the beach. You know what I'm saying?
yes.
And I say to the people, why is it that they can unite, they can do, and they don't fear because they're standing up for their rights and they're standing up for what they believe in, although it is wrong, some of the things that they are thinking about. But why is it that our people, the white people, they cannot stand together? They will rather criticize each other, and the one wants to be better than the other, and the one wants to be president, and the other
Mm,
one wants to be vice president, and this one wants to be general. I mean, what bullshit is this? There's no time for this crap. We need to
yes.
get our country right before you can even think of becoming a president or a vice president or a general or a bloody whatever. I
Mm,
mean, who died and made them God? You know what
no
I'm
one.
saying? So rather unite and fix the country together
Mm.
than having all these squabbles who wants to be chief, because there are too many chiefs and too little Indians, unfortunately.
It's a good one. Yeah, I think that is something you mentioned on the beach protests as well. You
Mm.
mentioned, like, hey, people, take your country back, and that's something even Sikhle, Big Daddy Liberty,
Yes,
recently in one of his recent live videos now mentioned to people as well. Like, it seems like we have forgotten as a nation that we, the people, in a true
exactly.
democracy, we the people are in control. The
Exactly.
government doesn't own us. We own the
No,
government. That's
we
how it's
own the
supposed to
government
be.
and we pay their salaries, and we have elected those people to run the country for us. Now they are not doing a good job. They're running
Mm,
us now. They're making us robots and puppets and whatever. And we need to say hello, guys, you're on a power trip here. Get off your pedestals, and we need to take our country back. And we need
yeah.
to put reliable, trustworthy, honest people as leaders. We need to get those people out.
Yes.
It is very important we need to get them out. And I keep on saying, and Big Daddy also says it, don't trust a politician and do not trust a common, because they are the reason why we are where we are now. You cannot tell me that, sorry, Ronaldo, but you cannot tell me that for 26 years, while the ANC was running this government, and everybody knows what happened in the parliament and the money laundering and the corruption and everything, up until now that the Zondo, all the things is coming out now, okay? Now everybody wants to jump and say, yeah, but we did say this, we did say that. Hello, come on, after 26 years. Bullshit, man. They're all in
Yeah.
cahoots. They're all
Mm.
bloody scallops. They're all flipping corrupt. No,
Well, we
I'm
can
sorry.
see by the how Zuma is so brazen with his reaction to everything. He's like, "Oh, I'm just not going to show up. Oh, I'm not going to go."
Exactly,
It's
exactly.
he it shows how
He's
they
got no
don't really
respect.
care for law. Yeah, they don't care for law. They
No,
they
no
know they
respect.
know they can
No.
get away with it. Yeah.
Yes.
And that's a
And,
problem. That is a
and
problem.
he needs to be arrested. And so
Yes.
there shouldn't be a committee. I mean, hello. If you go and murder somebody, are you going to first go to a committee? Are you first going to go through all the channels before they're going to come and arrest you? Not the damn. If I take a loaf of bread out of a shop, yeah, I'll be the first one to that they will go and arrest. Most probably throw the bloody keys away. So why are they favored? I mean, Zuma, he was the president. He's a nobody. He's like you and me.
Yeah.
Okay. But we're still paying for his security. We're still
Mm,
paying for everything. We're still paying, and he's getting away with murder. He's
mm.
got so much charges against him, 831, whatever, and there's hardcore evidence. So why is he still walking around?
Yeah, I have
Because
no idea.
each and every one, he's got stories on each and every one of those people, and now they're all
Yes.
scared. So that is
Yeah.
why my gut feeling, I'm going to be honest with you here now, Jackson was assassinated. He never died of COVID. He was supposed to appear at Zondo this week. And so you will see most of the people that are heavy influenced are being assassinated or they disappear. Watson, Agrisi's now in jail. He can't even, he made a deal with government and then they put him in jail so he can't get in contact with anybody else and tell his story. Um, People are being assassinated all
Interesting.
over, MCs, MPs. Go and do your homework, my friend. It's scary. The things that I have, it's
Interesting.
scary. And Watson is not dead either. Watson is not
Interesting.
dead.
Look, I wouldn't be surprised if I'm honest. As sad as that sounds for me to say that, I wouldn't put it past the ANC to do something like that. I mean, we've
No,
we've heard of it before. I mean, this is not stuff like this happens. It's happened in history. It's happened countless times in history where people get assassinated and all that stuff to for political gain of another party or power or whatever the case. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
this
I
guy,
do want to.
he dies now of COVID. And
Mm,
then a couple of days after that, this Chicken Charmaine comes into his place. I mean, really? We don't have any South African that can take Jack Tembo's place. A Chicken
mm,
Charmaine has to come and take his place. It's all been planned, darling. It's all been
yeah,
planned. And it needs to be exposed, unfortunately. They need to
I
stop,
do,
be stopped and be stopped.
I agree.
I get angry when I
The
talk about this. I can talk forever
No, no,
about this.
look. I agree. They need to be stopped,
Yeah.
and I think a lot of South Africans are starting to wake up to this notion that the ANC are failing, and that's a good thing. I just want to get Acid Zill here. All the bikers are united, and we are together. You should learn from us. I must say something here with the bikers. I was pleasantly proud, surprised, and a warm feeling, warm fuzzy feeling happened when I saw the protests of the bikers in Joburg during the lockdown, riding in Cape Town and in Joburg for the farm murders protest. I thought that was an awesome scene, and everyone I think the media again trying to race bait and trying to like say oh it's a white thing, it's a white movement. They interviewed so many bikers who said it's not about race, it's not about race at all. This is
There
black,
is no
white, Indian.
color. There's no
Yeah.
color in the biker community, and that I can vouch for them. They've always had my back at all the protests. They look after the citizen, the people of South Africa. They they are about respect and honor, and
Yes.
that is it. The bikers are awesome, and that is what I kept on telling the people, come and join the protest. The bikers are there. They will protect you and they protect them. They protect the people with their lives. So people don't need to be afraid. They don't need to be afraid and they
Mhm.
must stop being fear-mongered by the police. They must stop it.
Yes. Well, we didn't. I mean, we saw on the beach protest that a few people were afraid because the cops were around, but they didn't do anything. I don't
They
know if
got for
anybody's
man.
been.
No, the
Yeah,
cops
well,
is
you
just
spoke to one of the
for.
police officers and said
Yeah,
they were also hurtful.
yeah, cut for.
I want to also okay. So Eleutheria ZA also saying that an ANC dude was assassinated here in Joburg, Alberton. Someone from another province. Tell me there isn't an agenda. Interesting.
Yes, there is. And I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. So
And it's not the first.
so Herman, I want to also address this comment. Herman Ruas is a fellow friend, but he's also a farmer, tobacco farmer in Joburg, and he says you can not change a country if you're not willing to make a change in your own community. I wish people could see us on Sunday working together, tracking criminals. So
That is
yeah, yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Um, he's also one of the farmers that he's been keeping me up to date. They now work together in their community to protect one another. He's the
Good.
medic. So if anybody gets hurt, he's on the scene. Whether it's the perp or a farmer or whoever, he will be there
Mm.
to help the person. And
Hats off
and
to
it's
you,
great
my
to see.
friend. Hats
Herman
off to
is.
you, and I'm very proud of you. Thank you.
I I had the pleasure of Herman inviting me over to his farm and experiencing the farm life. And while it is beautiful and a very interesting and hardworking lifestyle, it's also a very scary lifestyle, especially at
It
dark.
is
I never realized how dark it is around the farm.
far.
It's
Yes, it
very,
is.
very scary.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, okay. So we've been talking about the ANC, how we do not like the ANC, but I think this channel, anybody who watches this channel will know my disdain about the ANC. I do a lot of content. They keep me as a comedian. They keep me very. There's
That's
no
good.
there's no
That's
shortage.
good.
Yeah, there's no
Yeah.
shortage of content, which is great. So we spoke about Senekal. We've spoken about the divide in the farmers, and again on that topic about the divide. I hope that people who watch this, if next time there's a protest, and just support. Remember what you're there for. Remember what we're there speaking about. Whether even if it's someone who's maybe a DA member watches this, I don't know, an MP or whatever, right? Don't now make it about you. Don't make it about you. This is about the people that have lost their lives and the failures of the ANC to protect its citizens. And that's the thing that people forget. A farmer is a South African citizen. Forget about race. South African citizen, and the government is failing to protect them.
Mm.
And that's what we're
And
trying to say.
there are black farmers. I mean, there
Yes.
was Pusana Kumalu, 80-year-old, that was tied to a tree and shot at Moy River. And then there was in December a teenage boy was forced to watch his parents being murdered. The father was shot twice and the mother was shot 9 times. I mean, what trauma is that poor kid going through? You know what I'm saying? So I wish people would stop making this a bloody race thing, because it is not just white farmers that are being murdered. There are black farmers being murdered. There are black farm workers that are very loyal to their farmers, okay? That has been living with and helping their farmers for years and years. They're living on the farm, and once that farmer gets murdered, they go and they protect that farmer. And once that farmer gets murdered, those people are sitting without a job and without a home. And it's actually very sad, because the press likes to turn this whole thing into a race issue, and that is what is sad. And that is why whenever I get them live broadcasting anywhere with somebody, then I chip in and I tell them, listen here, stop spreading bloody fake news. And we have to, because and that
Yeah.
is why we're always there, Joe, is so that we can let the people see the truth. I mean,
Yes.
look what happened in Brackenfell, you know
Mm.
and it's not right,
Oh,
man.
they
It's
were
not right.
they were they were nitpicking in Brackenfell.
Yeah,
I
they were
don't think I've
making this
mentioned
whole
this.
thing a racial thing. And then look what
Yeah.
happened. The Human Rights Commission went and did the investigation. The Western Cape Education went to do the investigation, and they found no racial thing there. But because the media was driving this agenda and they were driving people, I mean, they even tried to force me to say that it was a race. I said, they put words in my mouth, because you people are
Yeah.
talking shit. Not what
Mm.
happened here. I spoke to the
Exactly.
parents of the organization of this matric ball thing. I know what happened. I told you what happened. So why do you keep on telling me now, because you couldn't win with that matric dance thing? Now you're saying, oh, okay, but now there is. We heard that there is racial tension in the school. I mean, if you can't find fault, you came here for the matric dance. Now you're saying that the school is racial, and other people of Brackenfell is racial. What next do you want? You know?
I mean,
And
that that that
put
that annoyed me
bullshit.
so much because there was on
I
one of
know.
the days that I was there, there was that ANC guy, and then he was saying how
Yes.
you can see the
Ronald.
racism in Brackenfell. And I
Yes.
asked him, and I asked because he spoke like as if he was living there for years. And I asked
Yes.
him after he was done speaking. I said, "Where do you live?" He said, "Athlone." I'm like, "Okay, so you're an expert on Brackenfell then." Like
Yeah. No, yeah,
that
that's
makes no
my point
sense.
exactly. No, they
That
really
makes no
piss me
sense.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to also mention very quickly, again with Herman, the thing we're mentioning now about race and how the farm workers do admire their farm workers, and or sorry, the farm workers admire the farmers and stuff. It's true. I saw it on Herman's farm. There's no anger or
No, there
like okay,
isn't. There isn't.
maybe in some cases, if a farm worker is not working hard enough or is not delivering. But that's with any job. Any job you
It,
have, if you're
yeah,
underperforming as an employee, you're gonna
you're
be
gonna get picked.
reprimanded for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna get like a hearing. You're gonna get whatever, blah blah. Same thing on a farm. It's a job, and Herman has a beautiful relationship with his workers. I saw and I have footage of his workers playing with his son.
Mm.
No issues, no
Yeah.
problems. You know,
Mhm.
it doesn't. It's they don't. I don't know. It really irritates me, like you said, when the mainstream media just takes certain topics, like whether it's a beach protest
Yeah.
or it's a school or it's a farmer, and they say, "Oh,
They
it's
turn it
racist."
into a race. They turn it
Yes.
into a racial thing. I mean, I was also on my friend's farm in Kakamas for 2 years, and their workers. I mean, my friend's husband used to slaughter sheep and stuff and give it to the workers to go and once a week and buy them food. And I mean, they were bloody spoiled more than what I used to get. So,
Mm.
they yes, there might be people there on farms that uh, I can't say because I've never seen it actually, but there might be people that get treated if they don't do their work properly. But now because everybody makes it a racial thing, then the workers go and they say, "Yeah, but this guy, I'm going to contact the EFF now because this guy is not giving me enough pay." But then they don't tell the people the truth of what
Mm.
really happened. It is
Yeah,
just the boer gets the fall for everything. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And I've seen it,
yeah,
eh? I've seen it because they will
yeah,
make loans from their wages. And when it comes to paying back, or they must get their wages and the people take the loans that they made through the week, then they're getting short paid or whatever. I've seen it happen, my friend.
yeah,
It's yeah, you don't win, eh? You don't win. So
yeah.
yeah.
I
I
want to
feel for
also,
the farmers. They really have a tough job out there. I mean, they've got to fight to produce. They've got to fight to um, keep the country going. They've got to fight to keep their lives going. They've
yeah,
got to fight to save their farms. And it's a hard job for them. It's a bloody hard job. And I think people should actually start helping the farmers now, and
absolutely, yeah,
it's not a joke. If there is no more food in this country, which is going to be soon, then we are stuffed.
yeah.
And please, it does not come from Shoprite and Pick and Pay. They're getting their food from the farmers. Because
Mm.
Malema and
No,
the
absolutely.
ANC says, the food comes from Checkers and Shoprite. So it just shows you how doff they are. Bloody bunch of. Sorry, I don't like the politicians and governments, and I will
No,
fight to.
look. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I mean, like
Oh,
talking about the EFF, Yanni, telling someone in the chats that he saw on a live stream, which was probably mine, during the Brackenfell or sorry, Kryfontein protest. We were discussing this actually over the weekend
yes,
on a live stream where the Newsroom Africa got into a van with the
yes.
EFF.
I was right next to her when she got into the van. Yes, she got into
Yeah,
the white van with the EFF, the thin scroll reporter. Yes, I
yeah,
was
the
there.
thin lady. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I actually got it on video.
Um, Yeah, we got well, it's on a live stream on this
Yeah,
channel, so I mean people can go check it out.
yeah.
I still comment while I'm seeing it like, okay, so the lady of the
Yes, I
journalist is getting
remember
into
you
the EFF,
saying it.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And that, I mean that just shows you. I mean, like people will argue like, yeah, but they're just friendly or whatever, they're giving her a lift, they're being nice.
Nope.
Uh, I don't know.
Sorry.
I don't know. I don't trust it. I'm sorry. I don't trust it. But we've seen how News Africa is very lenient and less. They don't criticize the EFF. I mean, they've had Malema on. They gave that exclusive interview on that news channel. It almost feels like they're hyping him up.
Yes.
I don't think
And
the
they defend
journalists.
him. They did defend
Yeah,
him at Senekal
yeah.
1 when they did an interview with me. When I said to them that Malema is a terrorist and the farm murders. That's another thing I want to say to you. A lot of people ask why um, uh, uh, um, why is it that we say that the farm murders should take priority over normal crime? Then I said to them, and this is exactly what this guy said to me at Senekal. And I said to him, you know what? Because these crimes that are done on the farmers, a normal crime, a guy gets stabbed or he gets shot and he dies or he gets injured or whatever. I said, but when people's genitals and their breast and people get hacked to death, get boiled, get angle grinded, get skinned, okay, and their eyes taken out with pliers. What do you call that? Normal crime? It is bloody terrorist attacks. Because go and Google what terrorist attacks are and what kind of attacks it is. That's not normal crime. So don't ever ask me if the farm murders is a normal crime, because it's not a normal crime. It is terrorist attacks against the farmers. That is what it is. And that is what this bloody
Yeah.
people said there at Senekal. He said, yeah, but how can you say it's because it is. It is terrorist attacks. I can't help it if you're not
Yeah.
educated to know what the difference is between a normal crime and a terrorist attack. But this
Yeah.
is terrorist attacks. People are being, I mean, kids, man, come on. You can't put a bloody 8-year-old in a boiling bath of water and kill him like that. What normal crime is that? No, man. I
I mean,
know, I
even
know there's
even
crime. I know there's crime out there. I mean, a blind man in his shop, they hacked him to death. What use was he for them? Because he couldn't even see them. You know what I'm saying? He was blind. And another thing is, nothing gets stolen.
yes,
They
there are
are
cases
coming
like
there
that.
to murder. That is blatantly what they're doing. And it will always be just a cell phone. I mean, really, your life is worth a cell phone? No.
I think what this is what for me personally, like, I'll be honest and I'll say it live on stream. I used to a few years ago deny farm murders. I was like, nah, it's just crime or whatever, blah blah. But then when I started to research, and that's the thing, the mainstream media is, for the average South African, is very good at telling the average South African, no, 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 it's just a crime. Sorry,
Yeah.
it's part of the stats, blah blah. Because there are crimes that where farmers do get robbed. There's all that stuff. But when you start, what the media doesn't tell you is how many murders there are, how
Yes.
many attacks, vicious attacks that people were probably going to die from, but luckily survived. They
Yes.
don't talk about those
No.
incidences. They talk more about
No.
the robberies or this or that. They don't really do enough research
Yeah.
into farm murders. And when you start looking at the organizations like yours, AfriForums, and so on and so forth, that have stats, that have evidence, that have documentation of every single farm attack, farm murder, you start to realize, wow, this isn't some one or two during the month. This is what, 50 a month, 40, 30, something like that.
Continuously, yeah. It
Yeah,
just doesn't stop, And the thing is also they don't tell the people the truth, and they will make it when they do the murder thing. It will also somehow land up a racial issue. It's always a bloody racial issue, you know.
Yeah.
It will be that the farmer mishandled his worker, and that is why it was okay for the worker to go and hack this man to death. That is what they're doing, and that is not the way it should be, you know.
Yeah.
It's sad, man. It really is sad that we cannot even trust our media to broadcast and to print true stories. You don't know who to believe anymore, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really
And
don't know.
yeah, that's the thing. Like for me, I just started doing a bit of research on it, and when I started speaking to more Afrikaans people that were willing to have the conversation with me, I started to realize. And then eventually, I met a few people that were victims themselves that
Yeah,
survived, and that really opens your eyes when you start to hear
yeah,
their story and you see the
especially
proof.
yeah, and you know what is also very sad, and why I do what I do is they are targeting the vulnerable, the elderly, you know,
Yes.
people that cannot protect themselves. And I mean, most of the attacks, you can go and research, if they're all in the 80s, 70s, and that people that can't fight these guys off, and they all go there in a team of 3, 4, you know.
Mm.
And it's sad, and it's also sad that there are farmers in that don't help each other.
Mm.
That is what is sad. They don't help each other. They don't help the next farmer. Um, Now, yes, they are getting there, but there are still farmers that rather will protect themselves, their own farms, and that instead of protecting each other. I mean, this is
Yes.
all about uniting, guys. Jeez, I
Yes.
don't know.
Debbie, if you don't mind, can you put your light on? You're getting a bit dark
I'm
and
sorry,
we're losing
I didn't
sight.
even notice it. Sorry.
And while you do
Step
that,
on it. There we go.
there we go.
Sorry, guys.
No
Sorry.
worries. All right. So, yes, I couldn't agree more. And I think that's why I wanted to have this conversation focused around and farm murders because not enough people talk about it.
Mm.
Not enough people. I think a lot of people are shy to talk about it. I think a lot of people are brainwashed by the mainstream media to believe that it's not a topic we talk about. It's not a topic we talk about. But no, stuff that we need to talk about this. These are serious issues that are happening in South Africa. And let me tell you something for those woke that might be watching this at some point, because I know this is usually what happens if we talk about farm murders and someone else pipes up and says, "Yeah, but what about GBV?" I'll
Yeah.
happily have someone on the show to talk about GBV. I have no issue with that. Debbie was kind enough to give me an hour of her time and talk about farm murders. And I've grown to know Debbie for a bit, and I trust what she says. And I will do the same with a GBV person who's an advocate for GBV. I will speak to them happily on the show. Debbie said she used to be involved in that. If she can refer to me someone who's willing to come onto the show and talk about the GBV problem in South Africa, I will happily do so. I think that South Africa does have a lot of issues at the moment, and our crime system is failing us miserably. And if it's not for people like Debbie and other people that fight for their own fights, whatever it might be, whether it's GBV, whether it's LBGTQ, or whether it's farm murders or normal crime, drugs, whatever, gangster crimes, all that stuff, we all need to be fighting a fight that we feel passionate about. And that's what I like about Debbie. She's passionate about this issue. She fights it hard. She was telling me off air that this is all she does. And people need to stop being scared to talk about these issues. These are serious issues. All of them are serious issues. Not one is more important than the other. I think farm murders in this instance, yes, they do. There's just something about them that, like Debbie said, the torturing that happens should worry you. And the fact that if this gets too out of hand, we're not going to have any food in the future. So yes, it does elevate, the importance of this a little bit, just a little bit, because I mean, unless you want to starve, then I guess it's not important.
Yeah, it's true. Joe, also another thing I just want to mention before I go. Um, uh, we need to South Africa needs to take a stance now, and we really need to get a system in where every look, I'm naturally I'm going to say here on your show that I am calling for every member of the criminal justice, the police, the intelligence service, as well as the correctional services to be vetted.
Mm.
They need to be vetted because people don't trust the police anymore. People don't want to
That's
report
true.
any crimes or anything to the police because they are fearing for their life, because the police go and threaten them. Now, the Senekal story, I mean, that was a whole a stock theft crime syndicate where police are involved and defense force is involved. And unfortunately, we cannot trust our police anymore because we and they lying and they are like a criminal what do you call them, syndicate.
Syndicate, yeah.
So I'm calling for every one of them to be vetted. They need to be vetted. We need to ask for them all to be vetted so that we can get competent people in our judicial service, our police, our intelligence, and our correctional service. Because they're all corrupt, they're all captured.
Yeah,
And
I agree.
we cannot go forward as a country if those people are not, the rot gets taken out. They need to be taken out because we cannot, as a country, we cannot move forward if that is rotten. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I agree. 100%. I agree. All right, Debbie, we've come to the hour. I would like to keep these shows to an hour so that people watch it. If it goes
Okay,
on
I'm
too
going to
long,
charge you. Just wait until it's a minute, 2 minutes.
that's fine. I'll send you my bank account details or whatever, and you
Okay,
can, or
thank
I'll
you so
invoice me.
much.
It's fine. Um,
Thank you very
but
much.
yeah, thank you so much for taking the time to chat to me and for being honest and for being, and that's why I wanted to have you on the show, because you shoot from the hip. You don't care. You say what you want to say. People want to agree, awesome. People don't want to agree, well, tough. That's up to you. But you say what you want to say,
Well,
and
it's
I
black or
admire that.
white. There's no gray
Yes,
areas. Eh? There's no
yes.
gray areas. There we
Yeah.
go.
So keep from me on a personal note. Keep up that fight, Debbie. There's a lot of people I know that support you, that support BDL, and even support this channel. And we thank you all who support every one of us. But Debbie, thank you so much for all the hard work that you've been putting in. And you are, in my opinion, a true South African patriot. Despite what some people might say, I think you are a true South African patriot. So thank you very much for the
Thank
hard work that you do.
Thank you for everything that you've done for me as well. And I also want to tell the people if anything should happen to me, I get Facebook jail or whatever. Joe will be covering whatever I can't get out there. So he will back me up with news and whatever. So please go and support him. He shoots straight. I trust him with my life. And
Thank you.
I thank him very, very much for everything he's doing for our country as well. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you. All right, so I'm going to do a bit of a sign off. You're welcome to stay backstage, and then we'll give each other a proper goodbye in just a moment. Or if you have to go, I understand. You may leave. I'll
It's
chat to
awesome.
you
I need to have a
later.
cigarette, guys.
Okay.
So say
All
goodbye.
right. Cool. Cheers.
Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Debbie Els from Stop Farm Murders, Terrorist Attacks, and uh, Killings. Please go check out the Facebook group in the link below. Yanni has also dropped the link to their website. Thank you, Yanni, for doing that. If you don't mind doing it again very quickly, Yanni. And thank you all so much for tuning in. Thank you all so much for being part of the conversation. I did see Lars Solis. I did see your 50-minute comment there. I'll try and look for it and clip it. Thank you so much for looking out or for mentioning that. Yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you, Herman. Thank you, Yanni. Thank you, Shack Dweller, everybody, Betty. I see you all. Thank you all so much for being a part of this conversation. To anybody who's new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Please like this. Please share this far and wide. I think this was a very honest discussion about farm murders, and people need to hear this. People need to hear two people talking about this, and maybe, hopefully, give them something else to think about, and not just be brainwashed by the mainstream media that is out there. And do your own research if you don't believe what Debbie and I are talking about. Do your own research. People need to talk about this more and more. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, I will be back maybe tomorrow night, but definitely Thursday night. So I will see you hopefully there. And if I don't see you there, remember, stay safe, be kind to one another, and I will see you at the next one. Cheers. Let's try that again. Don't know why that happened. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, stay safe, be kind to one another, and I'll see you at the next one.